morning. Welcome to my escape to the allotment in the middle of January. Only crazy people go to the allotments at this time of the year, and I'm evidently one of them. It's been a very frosty morning. You can see it behind me on the greenhouses. In the greenhouses, we had last night about minus 4.5 degrees Celsius. And it's been a little bit of a different type of a frost because I have already had a peek into my greenhouse where I grow my lettuces, and I was very unpleasantly surprised. They don't look happy at all. We have had a minus 7.6 degrees Celsius the other day, and somehow the lettuces were fine. But this morning, the frost's been just for some reason harder. Well, it is a frosty morning. However, it's way better than all the other days of this week when we had just rain, 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 including tomorrow. Because of the frosty weather this morning, I am thinking that maybe I should change my plans for today. Originally, the first job of the day was building a better support for this grapevine arch and putting at least 2 more posts on the other side of the grapevine arch, because it is leaning at the moment. I bought myself a tool for it. It's this fence post driver. It weighs 22 pounds, which is roughly 10 kilograms. And I'm sure you know it, you put it on top of your post and then either just drop it or hammer it down a little bit, and it should make the post work way easier. But because of the frosty ground I suspect maybe I should postpone this for another day. One nice and easy job I can do at any weather is hanging these 2 bird feeders. I was thinking to hang one up this apple tree, and another one, I have a wild plum tree next to my pond, so I'm going to hang the other one there. Now I have to choose a location which will be good. Maybe I was thinking up this branch, only if I can, if I can reach it and don't break it. Okay. Would that work? Think so. It's quite stable. What do you think? And let's hang the other one. This wild plum tree might be quite a good location. How about here? I think that's fine. That's perfect. I also bought for birds these dried worms, and just before I pressed the recording button, I opened the packet and it stinks. I'm going to put a few of the worms here, and hopefully some of the birds, it looks still alive. Some of the birds will see it and will enjoy them. I don't know how many to put. I don't want to waste it. Maybe this many. I hope I never have to eat worms. One job I'm still definitely wanting to go ahead with is pruning these 6 apple trees. They shouldn't be pruned in very hard frost, but the frost is now going away. In fact, it's not frosty anymore, and we have got milder weather predicted, so I don't see a problem with it. Plus, I got electric pruning shears for Christmas, and I am itching to try them on for the first time. These are the pruning shears I got for Christmas. Thank you very much again. I have never used them before. They come with gloves, which might come handy because this way, because I'm cold. First step completed. Now, what to do now? The shears come with 2 batteries. I know they are fully charged, And now I have to attach the battery to the shears. Obviously it has to come this way. Click. And I don't want to chop off my finger. On button. There were two green lights. The green lights are now on. So in theory, it should work. No. Oh, it does. Excellent. Let's get pruning. Before I do any serious pruning on my little apple trees, I'm going to have a trail run on this large apple tree that's never been pruned, and I'm pretty sure it will survive my pruning. So first time ever using these shears. Not quite sure what to expect. Oh, that was really, really excellent. That works so good. Absolutely effortless. I won't be doing very hard pruning today. As I said before, I planted these trees in March 2024 from practically bare root sticks. And since then, I have been continuously pruning them just to create their shape. Last time I pruned them was last summer. But there is still some pruning needed. But before I start pruning, let's first go back in time when I was preparing ground for planting my apple trees, and you will understand how I spent most of my winter 2023-24. We took over this allotment in September 23 in a very neglected state. There was some major work needed before I could start even thinking about planting anything. In December, I finally worked my way out all the way to the area where I wanted to plant my apple trees. No more words needed, just keep watching the progress. So I'm looking for any crossing or inward facing branches, any dead or diseased. I can't see any dead or diseased. And with M9 rootstock trees, you should also cut back about 1/3 of the new growth. It seems like I am doing more extreme pruning than I originally said, but I am struggling with this tree because it all seems to be growing upwards. It was even higher in the summer, and the tree is not creating many side branches. So I'm thinking if I prune these even shorter, then hopefully It will encourage some fruit spurs. And always prune to the outward facing bud, otherwise the branches will grow inwards, which you really don't want. I'm finding the work with the shears possibly a little bit difficult. It does a really quick job, but I still need to learn how to be more precise with the shears, because they cut quicker than I even realized. Sometimes I would have been more precise just with the hand shears. There is possibly more work with this tree because the branches are starting really low, and I should have chopped them to create the crown. It's a bit higher, not that close to the ground. So this is going to be a little bit more drastic pruning. Sorry, tree. I hope I'm not hurting you. Wow, that's quick. And this one as well. Pruning is done. Hopefully I wasn't too pruning happy. I ended up pruning more than I originally wanted to, but I think it was needed. The pruning shears are actually a great fun, but you have to be careful what you are doing because they don't think twice. It's so easy with them, sometimes even too easy, and you have to mind your finger. I just heard that we had some wood chip delivered on site, and that means only one thing: you drop anything you are doing and you run. Building up a stamina after Christmas, it is half a mile round trip to get the wood chip. First of all, I'm going to finish the paths next to the apple trees. I started them end of last year and never finished. All my pathways at my allotment are wood chipped. I create every path by initially removing as much of perennial weed as possible, and then put a layer of cardboard and top it up with wood chip. So this path would have been created almost 2 years ago, and obviously the weeds still come through, and you have to keep topping up the wood chip. But as long as you keep on top of the weeds, then you will notice that with time the job will be easier and easier. So no more. Initially I put so much of wood chip on the pathways, but now, also because there isn't that much wood chip as I would have wanted to, but just a thin layer of wood chip will do. So if you do little but often, that's the easiest way really, and I recommend it that way. Same with weeding your beds. As soon as you see some weed, pull it out. It's got a tiny root. If you let it grow, it will grow into a big problem. From this wood chip round, I didn't only bring wood chip, but also this. It's a beautiful rhubarb crown I got gifted on the way. A lady was just splitting hers and offered it to me. We had loads of rhubarb when we first started with this allotment, and I got rid of every single one of them. Well, I gifted them because I have never cooked with rhubarb. And today, when I was offered this one, I thought I have to give it a go growing and maybe cook something. If not crumble, then maybe chutney is supposed to be nice, rhubarb chutney. Anybody tried? What else can I do with rhubarb if I start growing it? Please, advice. I have no clue. Talking apple trees, I would like to share with you a problem I'm already having with my 2-year-old apple trees. Last summer I had some first apples. I only left very few on the trees, but 99% of them got attacked by codling moth caterpillar, and you can imagine I was devastated. I didn't expect a problem such early on. And I'm thinking ahead for this season, what can I do to prevent this problem? First, I thought that there would be an easy solution to my problem. I thought I would buy a few pheromone traps, hang them on the trees, and the problem would be over. But then I looked into it a little bit more, and I learned that that wouldn't work in my case. Pheromone traps only really work if you have no other apple trees with codling moth around you, even they say within 1 mile. And I'm surrounded by other apple trees and they all suffer. The whole allotment suffers from codling moth. Also, I learned that these traps, pheromone traps, they don't really kill all the moths. They only kill the males. So the pheromone, the female hormone, female attractant chemical, attracts the males, and they get stuck because the pheromone trap is sticky. So they get stuck on the trap. So all the males, I might try to kill them, but I would never kill all the males in the area. So that's a no. The other option I have, and I quite like, is making my own codling moth trap. I only read about it on the internet. I haven't tried it obviously myself yet. But I was wondering whether any of you are making homemade codling moth traps. And what is the recipe for the liquid you are putting into the container? And are you using a milk jug? Are you using a milk container or a can? For the size of my trees, I just need to use, I can't use a big plastic milk bottle, but I can use maybe a can, I was thinking. So how it works, you make a hole into the can and you prepare a homemade mixture. There are so many different recipes. So some people only use molasses, and some people use a mixture of molasses, apple cider vinegar, and some people also put like a 1/8, so a really tiny amount of ammoniac. So I think I'm going to give it a go, but I am really keen to hear from you. Please, how do you resolve this problem successfully? Thank you. As I am now at the stage of planning my allotment for this season, I am thinking, where can I put my pumpkin arch? Because if you remember, I had a large pumpkin arch in place of the new greenhouse that we built last October. And one of the options I'm considering is having the pumpkin arch exactly here, like this. And I'm now wondering whether it's a good idea. What do you think? It would have to be obviously a smaller arch, but this bed is about 1.20 meters wide, so the arch would only be 1.20 meters long. I will show you, I have got another arch that I wouldn't use, but just to give you an idea what I'm meaning. So I'm thinking to put my pumpkin arch here. I wouldn't be using this arch, but just to give an idea, to see whether that would work. What do you think? It would be one and probably two arches of the same width connected with bamboo cane. I think that could work. This is the view from one of my gates, and if I move the pumpkin arch just a little bit to the right, then I would create an arch pathway. I think that would look fantastic. I am really loving it. Plus the sun comes in the afternoon from there, from this direction, as you can see. So the arch wouldn't be shading the greenhouse. Maybe only a little bit in the morning, but that's not a problem. So let's walk through my arches. Oh, I think it's going to work. This is a rose arch leading to my wildlife area, where I've got my pond and my little apple orchard. Let's call it apple orchard. And look what difference these wood chips make. I mean, yeah, they are clean and light, so they do stand out. I feel like I've accomplished something today, which is good feeling. I can't stop looking at my arches. I think I've made up my mind, and I'm definitely going to have an arch here. Done deal. And really quickly, because I have to rush home, I've moved the arch again, and this is where I'm thinking that I would keep this arch. Obviously, I won't be growing pumpkins on this arch, but just some flowers. I'll show you a different angle. I think that will work really well. I'll step a little bit more back. Yeah, I love it. And looking at the very first picture of my plot I ever took 2.5 years ago, I would like to thank you for watching my today's vlog. If you enjoyed it, please comment, like and subscribe. Thank you, and see you soon at another escape to the allotment.